completely now.
Okay.
So we can turn on our video around 7:55.
किती लावून
दिव्या नहीं आ रहा
everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining. We will wait for a couple of more minutes and then start. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining minutes and then start. Good evening, everyone. We'll just wait for another 3 minutes and start. Thank you so much for waiting. Set, should we begin? Apoorva, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi,
Hi.
good to see you. Okay. Kunal, we're audible. Can we begin?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, okay, thank you so much, Kunal. So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's Alum Speak series. We have Apoorva with us. Apoorva has passed out of the recent batch of graduates, and it is so wonderful for us to have Apoorva with us. Very warm welcome, Apoorva. Yeah, would you like to share something with everyone?
Thank you, Ananya, for a warm welcome. And uh, yeah, I'm looking forward to have a conversation with everyone.
Wonderful. So, just to share with all of us that, we're really looking at in today's webinar, understanding the transition that Purva's really been able to make, not only as an alum of Vedika, but I think in her career trajectory and how Vedika has been, so crucial in this journey of hers. So, I think setting the context and really understanding also that in spite of the kind of, varied experiences Apoorva has had, whether in the space of education or work. Yeah, like she's moved from a mechanical engineering background to a management and then management space, and then today she's of course working in the same industry, but Apoorva is trained also to be a mechanical engineer. So we're really going to try and understand that when Apoorva has had this kind of a switch, then she's also made this transition of moving from the vernacular medium, so studying hardcore Marathi, and then being able to blossom in equally in an English space and in a higher ed all women's education program where English is the primary medium. So we can see this that Apoorva manages to make transitions very smoothly, and I think today we are really going to understand from Apoorva how this has been possible. Yeah. So, Apoorva, to begin with, could you tell us a little about your background? Help all of us understand about your academic journey and your professional journey.
Yes, sure. So I'm from Mumbai. I grew up partly in Pune and in Mumbai. And I come from a middle class family. We are family of four. Father is in government services. And so we value a lot to academics, to education. And so taking this piece, and I will just explain you shortly my academics. So I did mechanical engineering, partly because of my interest, partly because engineering is popular. Then I worked as a sales engineer with a manufacturing company. Then I came to Vedika, pursued 18 brilliant course for 18 months. And now I'm working as a partnership manager with India Gold. This straight line has two twists. One, I come from a vernacular medium where I personally had a difficult or rough transition from Marathi to English medium. And second, I took a gap years in between to prepare for civil services. So I'm here to share this story with all of you.
Thanks so much for that wonderful introduction, Apoorva. So, to begin with, I would like to understand when did you take this gap year and why, in particular, did you take this gap year?
Yeah, so I was studying engineering, and while coming at the last year of it, I started tending towards preparing for civil services exam, considering my background. Like I have a father who is working there, and also the kind of impact that I could make with the kind of job that it offers. But it didn't work. I wrote mains once, but it didn't work really well. So next step was how to come back to the workforce. And then I took up a job as a sales engineer.
How has your journey been, studying in the vernacular medium? Given that I think now it would be quite a novelty to have had that experience. Would you like to share about it?
Yes, I think nowadays it's rare to find people who are having vernacular background, because these days English is quite prominent, and it also gives you a competitive advantage. So for me, I think coming transition from 10th to 11th from Marathi to English medium was difficult, because I am that person. I was really well in academics till 10th. So after that, to maintain that academic scores, it was quite difficult for me to compete with the English medium students, because always had to like put a lot of efforts to have the similar words of for any concept. So and I am the person who has tried all spoken English 101. So after that, I think it was difficult, but I think I did managed it.
Okay, that's a fantastic. I think that's a fantastic take on the vernacular medium and your experience. But tell me honestly, was it challenging? Given that there was a period when you were studying completely in the vernacular, and then you transitioned to English. And did you find it challenging ever to keep pace with your peers academically or professionally?
Uh, so I will say concept-wise, I did not find it challenging to grasp the concept, any advanced concept. But while presenting it in the question papers or in the interview, it was a challenge for me.
Okay, so I'm sure Vedika wouldn't have been very different in that experience, right? You had four courses which were offered only in English. So, did you find it difficult to keep pace at Vedika? How did you manage to do so well in spite of making this transition? How were you one of the most, one of the best performing students?
Mhm. So see, uh, even engineering was in English medium, and after that, I used to understand the things. As I told you, the presentation part was difficult, but I think it started when I started working, and then at that time I also had joined Toastmasters club, which was in person, and that made me quite used to the conversational English. And after coming to Vedika, it sort of upgraded. So I can say that ignition was Toastmasters, but the nitrogen fuel was Vedika, where I got to like about learn a lot or experiment with the kind of communication skills are that we can use in our work life.
Then, Apoorva, tell me, what would you like to share with those, maybe who've not had exposure to completely English medium, in their academic years? How would you like to encourage them if they're looking at coming to Vedika, or if, the incoming batch, you would like to share something with them in light of this?
Okay. So I think Vedika off has something for everyone. You and the communication courses are quite customizable. So it will take you from the level where you are to the next level by suggesting assignments or some creative experiments. So I think it's Vedika offers something for everyone.
Right, absolutely. So tell me, you were also given an award at your time, in Vedika. So could you talk to us a little about your award? What were you awarded for, and what does it mean to you?
Okay, so that award was for growth, Vedika Spirit Award for growth, and I think the the background I come from, and what I got from the program. So that gap, that full climbing that gap was that award, I think.
Tell me what makes this kind of a fantastic growth journey possible. And in your case, what did you do?
Okay. So, what did I do? Okay. So, right before Vedika, I was able to see two options with whatever job I had in my hand. One is get married and end up being a housewife, because that job was not something where I can like be very competitive and ambitious about. Our second, like, fight back with the constraints of finance, academics, and the age or time that I have to complete this higher studies. So fight back and get that competitive advantage. So as I started with the second option, like getting back the competitive edge, I think I did all the courses very seriously. I was ready to explore and experiment with anything that comes in front of me. So in short, I tried to like maximize whatever 18 months I had in my hand.
Could you talk to us also a little about your career trajectory? Of course, I touched upon it briefly, but your switch from mechanical to now, being a partnership manager. Could you tell us about the entire journey?
Yeah, sure. So after engineering, I took gap years where I studied. Then I came back to the workforce as a sales manager and a sales engineer, and that was my first taste of B2B sales, which currently I'm part of. So after Vedika, I have joined India Gold as a partnership manager.
Pura, why don't you also touch upon what you did before Vedika and what was different in that working space?
Okay, so before Vedika, as a sales engineer, I used to sell manufactured products like electronic switch gears, etc. And that was also B2B sales, but the company was small, so is the exposure. And uh, now also it is B2B sales kind of role, but it's at a great scale where I can like see the kind of impact my work is making.
Would you like to talk a little about the kind of impact that you see at work?
Okay, so I will just touch upon like what partnership manager role is. So it entails uh, dealing with the companies that could be fintech companies or traditional financial distributors. And my work is to get source business from them, which will add into India Gold's business. So this is the kind of work I do. For this, I do research, like what companies could be relevant for India Gold. I do reach outs, and that includes the major part of sale. And third is maintaining that business through a variety of things like keeping in touch with the client, of understanding what are the pain points of client, because if someone is not able to do the kind of business I expect, I have it's my responsibility that I'm helping them out or I'm working with them. So this is the kind of role that I'm currently working in.
You just graduated very recently, right? And you are, I mean, since you're one of the most recent graduates in terms of the batch, right? Can you help us understand what role do you see, Vedika having played in your journey?
Sure. So I think it was quite important, as I said, like I had to maximize the 18 months program that I'm into. What role Vedika played is, so personally, I will divide it into two parts, personally and professionally. So personally, I got a very reliable girl gang over here, which cheers for each other's success, maybe small or big. Second, we are provided with mentors. So that itself, made me used to the idea that I can also reach out to the person who is at CXO level. So that created the ease of speaking with the people who are like really very knowledgeable than me. And third, I think it helped me to regain my confidence to be like come back to the workforce and be ambitious about career. And coming to the professional part, so first and foremost is like Vedika helped me a lot in improving the communication skills. Second, the really understanding and great faculty that we have. I loved all the marketing courses over here, especially pricing by Jishnu Changakoti. So that this is like so professor wise also I enjoyed a lot. And third is how to present myself in the workforce and how to like ask for what I deserve. So that was kind of that was that is the thing I took from understanding yourself and courses on growth in Vedika.
So taking that forward, do you have any sorry, do you have any suggestions for your juniors who are just about to join the program? I'm sure we could utilize some kind of insight you can give them on how you've managed to really hold your own space and yet grow in the way that is most I think appropriate for you. So why don't you share with your juniors what they can take back and what is the kind of mode they can be in so that they're able to, like you use this word, optimize this time at Vedika. Yeah. How can they do that, Apoorva?
Okay. So first, congratulations if you are like joining Vedika this batch. Second, how to like get a lot or optimize the time you are at Vedika is first decide what you want from Vedika. Like at the end of the program, what do you want to achieve? There will be some 2-3 things. One will be definitely a job, and other 2-3 things that you want. So, and then decide like where do you stand and how you can go about it. There are a lot of courses in Vedika which will help you understand like how to build this. But my suggestion will be, I think, be open to explore like whatever kind of assignments, whatever kind of courses we have. Just enjoy them and do a lot of parties.
That's wonderful. Great. So I think you're helping everyone understand that at Vedika, it's not just all work and no play. It's also mix of both. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like if our batch did in the times of pandemic, now it has like a lot of things. All the things are been open. You can do a lot of parties.
No, but the schedule is going to remain as tight as ever. Okay. So
Yeah,
Apoorva,
that is
sorry.
what you should also aim to, because like do the internships if you get time to do interact with students from other colleges, because that also helps you understand like what are the how other students are doing it, and you will also get a sense that you are no less than them. So I got to interact with students from IIMs and JBIMS while I was pursuing a work boot camp, case study boot camp. And then I realized that, even if I'm in Vedika, I'm no less than them. It's just the way you think it's just way you present, and it's just matter of some years that you will also reach their level. It is that I believe it's too early to say in 6 months of work, but still being optimistic about it.
So, Apoorva, also you mentioned, I think a couple of times about the network of women that you've got over here, right? The support system you've garnered. I think being, the batch which has just graduated most recently, it would be nice for us to also understand from you that given that the batch size is now bigger, yeah, from when we began the program, how did you manage to create this kind of an ecosystem for yourself? Also, just to put into context so that it helps, I think, the incoming batch, there are a lot of the scholars who are from the incoming batch, also for them to be able to understand to how, as to how they can navigate their way through, though your batch size may be big, yeah, but you can form such relations. And I'm saying this because rarely, when we have like an alumni or you have something, everyone comes together, but this is your webinar, and you've made time, but there was so much of good cheer from the entire batch, right? Pushkar is here. Pushkar has really helped you closely in your academic journey like that. Yeah, so it's so wonderful to see how you build this ecosystem. So what would you like to tell, maybe a scholar coming to Vedika right now, how can they build this kind of an ecosystem? Like you've really optimized your time in that sense.
Okay. Uh, this good question actually. So yeah, to take. Okay, so we had a batch of 115, and it's actually very big. You cannot like it's big to interact in terms of networking, but just understand the story of person in front of you. Ask them questions if they are sharing something, and you will generally remember the personal stories of the person. So just just interact with them on their stories. So that quite helps for you to remember what that person likes, and that person will also remember you, vice versa.
What's your favorite memory from Vedika?
Favorite memory? There are many.
Please share. Yeah, let's just
It's
tell us.
difficult to pick one,
You
but
could be 5, 6.
one is, so I used to dance hardly, like rarely. And in Vedika hostel, I started dancing, and now I enjoy it a lot. Second is, I also tried my hand at writing a rap song in one of the assignment, and that was kind of different experience. And third is, I think, project management series, where you get to like learn a lot while doing the actual work life situation, while simulating the actual work life situation. So this course completely was a memory, good memory.
Wow, that's wonderful. So that's because of the kind of setup that you all had and the fact that it was a lot of role playing to
Yeah.
wonderful. So, Apoorva, also, would you like to talk about, now you've moved into the space of work, right? And last 6 months you've been working in the same organization. Would you like to also talk to us about a little about, this kind of a role? So, when you're looking at the space of being a partnership manager, right? Is there any particular skill set that you felt on the job that, one needs to possess or one needs to develop to be able to work in this space?
Okay, sure. Um, so partnership manager or per se any B2B sales role. I will talk about that. So the skills I felt like which were very useful for me was understanding the client. Like I just cannot sell things by only me speaking. I also have to listen a lot to my client, what they are saying and from where they are coming from. Second, second will be a like very what soft skill type of thing. Like you have to be really patient in B2B sales because the turnaround time of a client is very high here. It's from somewhere from a month to 6 months, 7 months. So you have to be quite patient about following up with them. And third is technical skills, which is like Excel. A guru, you have to be really well in Excel. Like I learned a lot on the job, but there are certain things that you can learn before coming to the workplace. So I think that is the main part of any job you take up.
How easy you make everything sound, like everything is so accessible, doable, and I think I'm sure it's going to instill a lot of confidence in our incoming batch, especially. Yeah. So,
It
Purva,
should
is there
be,
anything? Yeah.
yeah, I am telling only those things which are easy to execute.
So, would you also like to
No
anything
gyan
else
buzzing.
that you want to, sorry, anything else that you want to add or share? Otherwise, I was thinking we can also open up the forum for any questions that others may have.
Let's open the forum for questions.
Okay, great. Okay, so Kunal, would you like to take the question? Should I? Okay, so maybe to begin with, I can see, Mahi's asked the last question says, what was your experience during civil services preparations and your lessons learned from that period? Would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. So lessons is, see, I got to learn a lot. I got to study a lot. Like what are the ground realities in India? You got to learn about Indian economy and whatnot, all the subjects. But somewhere it helps me. But how it helped me to build after it is what I want to emphasize on. So yes, I had the gap year. It was kind of pause, but I think it also gave me different perspective, and I can use that while having conversation with any of my client because they are not all IIMs and IITs or very good high pedigree colleges. They are normal people who are doing their job for their living. So I think while talking to them, it helps a lot just having understanding of some politics, some economics. So I think that was the learning that yes, there could be setbacks, but you can always build upon it and go wherever, like, go wherever you want.
Right. Thanks, Apurva. Apurva, so someone's asked that maybe you could explain a little about the routine at Vedika within the classroom and the hostel. So you have a part A and part B question now.
Routine. So my batch is a pandemic batch. So we had many classes online and many were offline. So in the online times, I used to attend the classes in the morning till whatever time it used to be scheduled, and after that I used to like do the internship. I interned with a marketing agency, so I used to do that part for an hour or 2 hours or so, and then like dinner at in hostel. So yeah, after dinner there will be somewhere party once a week.
Okay,
So this is a simple routine.
that's so wonderful. So nice. So also, I think, is it Varsha? Varsha or somebody's asked this question saying that in which Vedika module specifically did the preparation help? So maybe could you clarify? Maybe if we can unmute ourselves and ask what preparation? Okay, hi Vidhi. Vidhi, do you want to unmute and ask your question? Okay, so Vidhi Singh civils. Okay, Vidhi. So over here, no problem. I think there are two things. One is that Apoorva prepared for civils, right, Apoorva, before coming to Vedika. And she's not talking about preparing for civils at Vedika. But okay, Mai is asking, are you still thinking to prepare for civils at any point in the future? No, now she's a corporate queen.
No, I'm completely into startups now. I read about them. I go and meet with the people who are in startups. So it's kind of being into the startup economy of India.
Okay, and Madhuri, I think, right? Was asked, how do you get internships during the course?
Oh, okay. That's the like mostly asked question by the juniors. But see, I got internship from my mentor, program mentor at Vedika. So he had referred to me. But after that, you can like get it from LinkedIn, or you can just reach out to people who are like founders of startup or something. They will really be eager to help you with the internship.
Yes, and also adding over here, we have the careers team which is working year round to place you all with at the shadow module, and then looking at this option of if there are internships or there are job opportunities which come in, the careers team is constantly keeping the current batch and of course our alum body posted on this. So definitely reaching out to the careers. So there is Deepa, there is Snehi, there's Medha. They're part of careers and reaching out to them when you're at the course, that would definitely be good to proactively also ask. And I think with the network that you get at Vedika, finding an internship and internship of your liking, it's not going to be really very challenging. Yeah. So moving on to the next question, it's so wonderful, Apoorva. You've just invited this, storm, whirlwind of questions. So, Kirtana's asking, how did you? So, Kirtana's, of course, I know that joined our current incoming batch. So, Kirtana wants to know, how did you decide that you want to work in this B2B company? Are you still open to exploring other companies who are not in the B2B space?
Hmm. So, see, I was working in B2B space. Then, when I came to Vedika, I worked with a marketing agency, and that was into customer service. Even shadow module was with Randstad or Nephroplus, and there has been a constant part where I am interacting with the clients. So that's what I think I like, I enjoy. So this also helps me in working in B2B selling space.
Right. So, you've also actually answered the question on your, shadow module. Would you like to talk about your shadow module in detail?
Yeah. So I interned with 1.5 shadow modules. So one was Nephro Plus. I was shadowing Tipali Pallai, who was HR head there, and half the module was with Bhuvana, who is CMO of Randstad India. So uh, it was really different experience because I was working with two women leaders at a time. I got to know a lot about how there can be two different styles of leadership and how both can be efficient in terms of their work output.
And also, I think someone has asked a little about Archana is asking a little bit more about the internships. Isn't it hectic with the course? What was your experience?
It is slightly hectic, but you are here for studying and maximizing the effort you are putting. So I think that's manageable. So my internship was for like 1.5 or 2 hours a day. So that I could easily take out of the schedule.
I think Inna is asking something very interesting, which I think we have covered a little during our chat. But she's saying that when you look back at your life, you have overcome, achieved, and grown. Okay, sorry, I'm unable to see the complete question.
I can read it.
Yeah, I'll read it out. So, what do you think is the key to your success, and how did Vedika contribute to your personal achievements,
See,
professional growth? Yeah.
it's just 6 months into the job, so it's really I'm really yet to define is it a success or not. But till now, I think I used to like be nervous about my background, but then I started making a little fun of it when someone used to like ask cross question like why this, why that, and this is this like fruitful or not. So I started making little fun of it, and then slowly I lost that inferiority complex and gained the confidence. So I think I accepted it that okay, this is what I have, or what I want to like look forward is what is the step ahead. Like, is this where I want to just stay and sit back, or I want to like take the next step?
Also, there's a question asking. I think again it's overlapping with the previous question, but Neha wants to understand how did you manage to juggle your studies, your social life, and internship all together?
I think it's thanks to pandemic things moved online. I saved a lot of time in traveling. Even like parties shifted from restaurants to the hostel room.
Valid point, of course. So, which was the most challenging module for you? Preeti wants to know.
Challenging module. Okay. To be specific, I think finance subjects were a little tough and tricky because it demands a lot of understanding of concepts which I was not like very clear with. So that was kind of challenging. You have to like uh, RR ratios and that kind of stuff.
Okay, so Apoorva, since there aren't any more questions, anyone else who wants to please post the question, feel free. But in the meanwhile, Apoorva, anything else that of the questions you feel that you would like to cover? Okay, so Vidhi, sorry, what have I missed? You can definitely unmute yourself and ask. Okay, so she's saying that I meant since you have prepared for civils and there's a module of liberal arts at Vedika, so did the preparation help in that case?
Yes, definitely. So all the kind of things you learn, they help somewhere, and you just realize it afterwards, looking back at it. So I think it helped.
Okay. Thanks so much, Vidhi, for your question. Anyone else whose question we may have missed, or anyone else who wants to ask a question, please go for it. We have Apoorva over here, and we can make the most optimize on her time.
And I think Ananya, till someone is asking or typing the question. So in the morning, I got a message from one of my classmates that she has shared this webinar with students to whom she mentors, and they are like they are from vernacular medium, and they have joined English classes in their graduation, so something like this. So to take that point, I think uh, being a person who has tried ek upay of English speaking, what I would like to share, like what worked for me. I think joining a Toastmasters in person was the really good thing I came across. And second is communication module at Vedika, where what it did is there were a lot of assignments which were given, and they were all voluntary. Nothing was like graded, but it was all voluntary. Uh, and that was in terms of writing, speaking, or presenting. So I think these two things helped a lot to crack that, how to like how to lose that inferiority complex that you carry from being a vernacular medium, or being from a town. Like a lot of people who are from small towns and villages, they have this thing. So how to break that is, I think, just be in this, like get into that situation, and that sort of helps.
Vidhi also asked another question, I think. How did you get to know about Vedika?
Okay. Again, it draws back, it connects back to the Toastmasters. So there was this Young India fellow who was there, and when I was like talking to him, he told me that there are these two fellowships, and considering my background and my requirements, he suggested like Vedika will be much suitable for you, and it turned out to be.
Preeti is also asking that. Okay, I will go back to Preeti's question. Did you do any other extra courses to build a good CV? Basically, how to attract employers towards your profile.
Good CV or not, I don't know. But for me, I had to like show it to the employer that I am completely into pursuing professional workspace. And for that, I did internship and a case study boot camp, which was like kind of extra from extra offering compared to the other students.
Okay. Arsha's also asking what are the things we need to keep improving for making our profile better, or any suggestions you have for freshers?
So see, this is very objective, person to person, because there were students who pursued only course and did not pursue any extra internship or something, and there were also students who did like two internships while along with the course. So it's completely your decision, like what you have to uh, what you want to do, or how much you can manage. And yeah, so I missed the question, like what are the things we need. So yeah, of course, if you can show that your profile has something extra to offer, it could be small, it could be big. I think that only it like makes your profile stand out.
So I don't see any more questions here, but Purva, any concluding thoughts you would like to share? I think I see that there is a lot of the freshers who've joined and they have a lot of anxiety or maybe curiosity and understanding. Anything that you would like to share at this point with all of them?
So if you are curious, keep that curiosity for the next 18 months like lit, And second, I came across this quote from one of the video of Sudha Murthy, that every flower has its own color and its own blooming time. So as this webinar has like theme of uh, there is no language boundary, there is no like uh, or normalizing having a gap years. So keeping this theme in mind, I think everyone has their own color and time to bloom. So just work towards it.
Thank you very much, Apoorva. Thanks actually for really sharing and engaging with so many questions live. Yeah, thank you. Thanks very much, everyone. Whoever's joined today, a very warm welcome. Shout out to our incoming batch. It's so wonderful that so many of you made time at the end of a long day and joined. And thank you very much to everyone, from Vedika, from the extended network, who made it to today's webinar. Also, just to share with all of us that within a week's time we'll be welcoming, in less than a week we are going to begin with welcoming our eighth batch at Vedika, and I think it's such an exciting time, for us, where the programs are getting into its eighth year, and alums come and then they share about their growth journey like this. So thank you very much. Yeah, and Apoorva, thank you very very much for sharing about your life with all of us. I think it has actually broken a lot of myths, debunked a lot of beliefs that we may carry to hold. But I think it's been so good to even engage with you in this space. Thank you. Yeah, please take care of yourself.
Thank you for having me,
Thank
and thank you
you.
everyone for like attending this alum series session and asking a really good question. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye bye.
Thanks, Kunal.